Before we get started in this video, I'd like to apologize for making a misconception in a video about misconceptions. For those who don't know, I made a video about misconceptions, and in the number 1 spot, I said that Monster Hunter World isn't a main series game. Unfortunately, I did not know that it actually is. This became more apparent when the comment section was all over me about it, and they were right. Apparently, the devs mentioned that Monster Hunter World is indeed a Gen 5 game. I always assumed that the main series of Monster Hunter had to follow the same formula as the previous games. It was also brought to my attention that MHGU is a spin-off due to it being a celebration release or something. I still don't know if this is true because MHGU follows the same formula as the previous games. I was actually considering taking the video down because I am not proud of the number 1 spot being inaccurate. But then I decided to keep it up so people see that I'm not perfect and so that they don't have extremely high expectations of me. Besides, every YouTuber makes mistakes in their videos, especially if they think they know something about a game and that information they think they know is wrong completely. Now, if people are saying that MHGU is a spin-off, then what happened to the rumors in March about a new Monster Hunter Switch game? That's going to be the focus of this video. So I am Reaverjolt, and today, we will be covering why there was no announcement for a new Monster Hunter title for the Nintendo Switch. Now for those of you who remember, I made a video several months back about 10 things we wanted for a new Switch game. I, as well as many people, thought we would get an announcement for it at the time. It only made sense to announce it on the 15th anniversary of Monster Hunter. March was the month we were supposed to get an official reveal, but alas, we got nothing. The only thing we got was a video looking back on how far the franchise has come, which is fine, of course they'll do that. Unfortunately, nothing else was shown aside from the 15th anniversary image. There have been rumors prior to March about a new Switch title, but no other rumors since. I do understand the Monster Hunter team is focusing more on Iceborne, but then again we have Generations Ultimate, which did get released in the same year Monster Hunter World did. The Monster Hunter team also mentioned that a Switch version of Monster Hunter World is not possible. This is probably the only sign we have of a new game for the Switch, but this isn't enough proof or confirmation that we will get a Switch title. I hear that they do have plans for a Switch title. I think that they don't want to make a mistake in revealing a new game before Iceborne comes out. There's always a chance that we'll get a sequel to Monster Hunter Stories as well on the Switch, which wouldn't be bad. Monster Hunter Stories is a great game and there are people who want a sequel because the game is very story focused. But even more so, there are people, including myself, that would love the classic style of Monster Hunter to continue in future generations, spin-off or not. Now, I love Monster Hunter World just as much as any Monster Hunter fan. However, I gotta say I love MHGU more. It brings that nostalgia factor as well as a lot more content. The endgame in Generations Ultimate is fantastic and I would love to see more like it in the future. Deviants were the real endgame for me. Now let's talk about how capable the Switch is for if and when they do develop a Monster Hunter game on it. We've seen the graphic capabilities from very popular Switch titles like Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and Splatoon 2 to a degree. The potential graphics for the next Monster Hunter game may not be anything like World, but I'm certain they'll look good and have a different art style possibly. I just hope that if they are working on this, that the game will perform well on top of that. I think fans will agree that the Switch can handle high graphic potential aside from what World has. So back to the question, will we get a Switch exclusive Monster Hunter game? I'm going to say yes, just simply because we could get it in 2020. This year is the year for Iceborne, for consoles at least. The Monster Hunter team stated that Iceborne will be their only expansion for Monster Hunter World. This isn't surprising because if we look at past games that had G-Rank expansions, those expansions were the only ones implemented in those games. This to me is evidence that we will indeed get a new Monster Hunter title in the future. The reason I say that is because if you think about it, the Monster Hunter team wouldn't be releasing new games if they were to focus on just one game for the next decade or so. Take a game like Overwatch for example. The devs for that game could have made an Overwatch 2, but they didn't. They've been expanding on that game since 2016. That's the kind of treatment people expect of Monster Hunter World when that's not the case. Sure, there'll be updates every so often, but I don't think that'll be enough to keep the game going for 3 years like Overwatch. So at this point, if we get any information at all about the next Monster Hunter game, it'll most likely be next year, say before or at E3. I could be wrong, so let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Also, I hope I cleared up my mistake. I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong, and I was wrong about the main series fiasco. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more like this apart from apologizing, consider liking the video, and consider subscribing and turning on the bell to keep up with my uploads. Be kind to one another, and have a most wonderful day.